or the pages with more focus here. So here's the 7 elements and the 3 principles. 3 principles, if you've ever listened to a great coach, professional, high school, college level, maybe even less, maybe in your neighborhood little league team, they oftentimes they'll bring up, effort, attention, and energy and stuff. Well, these are my 3. Desire to change your life. Always give your best effort, condition yourself to do that. And you got to care. If you ignore and neglect your life, a lack of care is going to lead to pain and negative realities. So these 3 elements. And then, by the way, the other 2 other patents that I was notified of, received copies of them, they basically had these 7 elements. One of them didn't have a journal and reminder, but the other one did. Curiosity and desire, they did not. They did not have this one here. So these 7 elements will lead to all of the. It's your homepage to go. But as soon as you go anywhere here, you land here, and this is the macro perspective, which changes perspectives of viewing one's life. The fact that everything is simplified down into 3s, which is important. 3 is a cool number. You've been hearing it forever. And what I was able to do through diligence and persistence, fit all of life into 3 areas. Each has 3 areas. So there's 9 sub areas, 3 areas. And then there's only 3 places you can be on a category basis. You can either be home, you can be at work or school, or you can be everywhere else. Nature, social, economic location. And these consistent places that they go for gives them a place to take care of in their life. I'm not going to talk about this much, but if you look at this box right here, you can see that they're taking care of their homeostasis, their place, the inner habitats of their body and their thoughts. And so they break it into 3, right? 3 causes, 3 effects. And then this is the outside world, their home, their workplace, or everywhere else in society that they go, or the neighborhood. So these consistent display, the design, to help somebody have a consistent basis of interpreting life and then changing it through practice, through meditation, through prayer and faith, however you want to look at it. So this is really cool. It changes the perspective. As you know, when you understand life, you have the ability, you naturally change perspective, because life is so complicated and spread out over so much time and space. So you want to be able to look at something that happened 3 days ago and shift to something that happened today and compare the differences. But also you want to look at your body and think about how you're taking care of it or not taking care of it, and how it impacts your relationship with people, or your ability to contribute in the economy, to earn and then ultimately save money. So this is huge. And then this page here. This page is amazing. I'm going to keep it here so you can see these 2. I'm going to pause for just a second. So this page is amazing. I apologize for saying that. This is just what I believe about the program. But cycles of ability in time and space. So this is an effort, and I believe I'm going to succeed at helping any person, young or old, to quickly understand life on a deep and an expansive level by the connections here. And these little items here are cause and effect icons to remind the person that while they're looking at the designs and they're thinking about life, that everything is connected through time and space. A lot of people don't realize that. But these are amazing sets of 3. Again, 3, powerful number. Who knows? Maybe it's a natural number in nature that technology is going to use to explore higher levels of ability. That's what I believe is the case. We'll see. So these look at this. From the macro view, if you want to teach somebody to understand life, well, the most macro thing you could say, the most broadest perspective you could say is, hey, there's time and space in your life and mine. And there's objects, things are moving around in cause and effect cycles. That's a big one to get, right? So the things they're repeating day after day. Weekends are different than weeks. Weekdays, if you work during the week or go to school, but there's days and they cycle, right? And remembering that is important. And the last thing, of course, how does it affect me? If you're wanting to understand life as a human being, you're going to want to understand What's in it for me? How does it impact me and my loved ones, right? So the next level is just time and space, and I think and move in cause and effect cycles with everything else. And how does this affect me? Huge. You want somebody to start understanding their life and to free themselves from, superstition. Maybe they believe in God and have somebody making their thinking they're sinning or something like that, and there's a devil or something. This is to liberate them from that, not to stop them from believing in God, but just to use scientific principles to start thinking clearly about time and space. And that's specifically what these will do. Now, these two things I think are cool. I hope that the whole world is saying I want to find the arc of the art to be liberated from pain and suffering. So I think of a ton of commercials all the time. Uh, and so arc, accurate, relevant knowledge, and art, accurate, relevant truth. So you see, to acquire accurate, relevant knowledge, you got to perceive it, right? And then you interpret it after you perceive it or while you're perceiving it. But you have to do both. And if you don't perceive everything, you're being prejudiced, right? You're coming to a conclusion too soon, right? You're prejudging without all of the information. So you interpret, you perceive, you make sure you have all the information, and then you realize it. Just sound teaching for people to use on a fundamental basis every day of their life. And then the next level, to find out about truth. People may not give you truth, right? Well, we're going to give it to them, but they may not get it in their life. You have to be curious. That's what happened to me back in the mid-70s. I doubted Christianity. My mom tells me because my father wasn't a good father example, right? Father, son, God, Jesus. And so he was, a challenged man, which made me challenged, which made my journey, right? But you have to be curious and search for the truth. And I searched, and I believe I found it. I'm going to help people with it. And so when you search for truth with curiosity, then you're effectively search, right? And then you appreciate the fact that you're curious, the fact that you're being effective, and the fact that you're making these steps to improve your life. Powerful stuff. These top two, the bottom, critical, and so fundamental. All of this is critical. So look at the macro view. At every point in our lives, how we change our life is to be aware of what's present and what we want and to create it, right? And appreciate the fact that we're doing this. And that happens over and over again every day of our life, every year, for our whole life. It never changes, that you have to be aware of what's happening, what you want, and then go create it, right? And then hopefully you have to appreciate it. If you don't appreciate it, it means you've missed out on an opportunity to be happy, right? Everybody teaches this stuff. I'm just teaching it here and simplifying it and putting it into a design, right? The next three are the very fundamental for everything, which is amazing. And it applies to everything in life, is movement, nutrition, and rest. I'm sure you've heard that as I'd heard it. And I think I might have bumped into this. Well, I probably read it, and then figured it out a year later or 6 months later. But I think I saw this, and then I saw a doctor teaching on public television about movement, nutrition, and rest for the physical body. Well, I've applied it so that it applies to making money too, or improving a relationship with somebody through time and space. An object moving through time and space, it moves around in an effective way that nurtures your needs and desires, and then you're able to rest and appreciate what you've done. And it's going to help them because everything's the same. If they're trying to improve their physical health, get rid of pain in their foot, or they're trying to make some money and pay off their bills, it's the same. That's powerful. It's going to help people understand faster because they're going to be thinking purely on a scientific level, applying the laws of physics to the social economic realities of being a social biological living organism interacting with social economic habitats where they have habits that happen as an environment we have happen over again. I apologize for teaching. And so with that teaching, when people apply these principles, which are simple and obvious, right? And whether you believe in God or not, this stuff is logical, right? You believe, I think about Christians a lot. My whole family's a Christian or Christians. And so these principles help somebody to understand. This is a powerful thing I learned from Jose Silva. Amazing man, by the way. I'm sure you probably have heard of Silva method. If you haven't, it's something amazing to experience and use. And we're going to teach a version of it. And so when whatever you want to do in your life, your first thing to do is to figure out what you want. You desire it, right? Then here comes something amazing on a psychological basis to create the emotional drive inside. And we change our lives with our emotions, not our intelligence, right? Not our logic, it's emotion, right? So when we figure out something that we want, and let's say there's pain there, let's say we're not getting it, we're struggling, we're not being able to figure it out. Who can associate to that? I can, right? Well, if you believe because you use logic and you realize you can just use trial and error and get there, that belief is a powerful emotional rush, a surge inside your torso, energy going past your solar plexus for you to feel that positive emotion, which will help you change your life. But then when you ramp it up and you say, I expect this to happen, ye doggy, as Jose Silva said, get ready because you're going to feel some powerful emotion inside. And so amazing thing, amazing thing. And this is a fundamental element that's used over and over again. These, what are these? These 12 boxes here, and there's 24, but you're going to use these more plus these here, I think. You're not going to engage us too much except as a functionality of thinking, right? There's time and space of life, and I'm moving around, and how does it affect me? But then you engage these steps. And these steps will be used over and over again. And the fact that they're consistent and they're applied everywhere will cause somebody to understand life faster. That's exciting. Now, as exciting as this is, and I just think it's amazing, these are just as exciting. Now, these turn into a fundamental tool when we get over to this page over here. This page over here, it becomes the tool to effectively psychoanalyze yourself, your thoughts, your behaviors, your pains, your fears, your obsessions, whatever it is. And this is, I just think, amazing. And I just realized this last box. I've been working on it for like a year, but I kept wanting to make things pretty, stuck in Illustrator because I'm not very good at it yet. Well, I'm okay at it, but I'm not fast yet. I've been working on this, and I put it together mid-December before Christmas. Amazing. When I finally designed it, and then it's exciting. But there's a bunch of stuff in here. Humbly, I say that's amazing. And these are incredible. When they function, when somebody's able to look at a video of themselves and change the level of ability, they'll see a video animation like a video game, but this is a video game of life, of losing weight, of healing a physical pain in their body, a disease, improving a relationship with somebody, healing themselves from hate and anger and fear, or becoming productive, realizing that a good day of work is one of the best things you can do for your happiness, and programming themselves to want to get up and go to work and value working and seeing themselves working and enjoying the sound, solid fulfillment of being responsible and being effective each day. That's what this animation will do for somebody. And they'll be able to rapidly change their life. So that's what these boxes do here. And I just have an example of the ability on this side with it, but also this could go away and then they'd be on both sides. So both options are design options to enable the user to organize their screen. They would be looking at just one screen, right? And they would have it see, and you'll see that over on the other side. So these things are amazing. It is the first few pages of the invention. And these changes of perspectives are amazing. I'm going to allow this to be a pause because I believe I've been running about 10 minutes. I'm going to pause the tape before I go on to more amazing content. Thank you so much for listening so far, and hope I have you interested and excited, and you go on and lead, and then you reach out to me, and let's team up intellectually, get some people working on this thing, and naturally you would be funding that, and together I believe we're going to help billions of people over the next few decades, and maybe decade. I think we can get to 1 billion in 5 years. That's my goal, December of 2026. So here we go. I'll start the next one after this. Thanks.